foster friends and family. I'm Charles, and you're listening to the Fosterdaddirective podcast, where we'll explore the foster care system plus my experience with it. In today's episode, we'll be talking about volunteering with the Foster Care Review Board. YouTube user Demon2012 actually brought to my attention. I completely forgot to go over this when I went through the Foster Care Review Board and all the other information, so I wanted to make sure I did a short little podcast about actually volunteering with them because I believe that is an important aspect of it overall. As always, please know that I'm not a trained professional. The views expressed on this podcast are those of the host and in the future other hosts or guests and do not constitute professional advice unless otherwise stated by said guest. Please ensure you seek adequate and effective legal counsel to best protect yourself in this ever-changing system, especially outside of the state of Michigan. To volunteer, go to the Michigan's One Court of Justice website. The Foster Care Review Board program accepts new volunteer applicants throughout the year. If you're interested in volunteering, you'll actually complete the form on that website. And there is actually a contact for questions. If you're watching on YouTube, you can actually see that information. I'll leave her name out for right now just because this does change quite a bit. So it'd be best to go to the website if you're listening to this in the future just to ensure you're getting that adequate information and so she's not getting a bunch of emails from later on down the line if this episode does get some attention. You may also call 517-373-4458 and get information that way as well. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, you can actually see the board application. But if you're listening through the YouTube or the podcast channels, just know that I'm going to go over everything and do a quick rundown of it. It's a pretty short form, so I'm just going to go over a general information from all of it. The start of the application actually shows the contact information for the state employee along with the fax number and then information about the application overall along with the MCL 722.135, which oversees the board. For the first portion, you're going to actually include personal information such as name, race, gender, occupation, place of employment, and contact information, and if you are a current foster parent. The second one is going to be educational background. This is going to be school, what degree you have, maybe your specific major and other items such as that, so they know what experience that you have. Number 3 is going to be any connection or experience with the child welfare system. So this would be if you've ever worked with it, maybe through CPS, volunteered with other organizations. Number 4 is going to be, have you ever been convicted of a felony? If so, you'd put yes or no, and then if yes, describe. You'd want to put information such as what the crime was, where it was, where you were convicted of it, year, general information, so you can go through and ensure you are considered if you do have a felony conviction. 5 is community involvement. This would be church work, civil organizations, political parties, stuff like that. This will kind of give them an idea if you have current experience and if you do have leadership capabilities. And then if you need extra information or extra space and information to provide to them, it gives you that contact as well for that. 6 will be any other advocacy efforts such as other advocacy organizations. Say the American Legion, that's definitely a huge one that advocates for vets. So if you have information like that, you can also put that in here. Number 7 is the board will meet approximately one weekday per month from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Would you be available during this time? 8 is in addition, board members will be asked to conduct foster parent appeals within 7 business days of the request from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. per MCL 712A13B. Would you be available during this time? 9 is why do you wish to serve? So this would be the information about why you want to be on the Foster Care Review Board. You could put whatever drives your passion to be on the board and help children. So the more information you put here and the more precise you are, it gives them a better idea. 10 through 12 are actually references. You're going to give their name, phone number, email, and address so that they may contact them and go over everything, and then that information does remain confidential with the state. And then finally, it is the question. I understand that my application does not ensure appointment to the review board. Furthermore, I understand that I'll be called upon to attend all reviews on my board if appointed. Finally, I agree to attend orientation and ongoing training as long as I serve on the review board. And you either agree or disagree with that statement, and then they will contact you based off your answers and the current need of foster care review board members. On the website, I know it did say that they are looking for minorities and men to join the foster care review board. So I'm sure it is currently mostly made up of women that are currently volunteering. So if you do have like a different background, definitely look into joining and volunteering, because it might be give the board a little more experience and expertise in areas that they may be lacking currently. For training, you will go that training as it stated earlier. Board members receive initial training and must also attend annual training held in different locations throughout the state. These trainings are free of charge and travel expenses are reimbursed pursuant to state guidelines. So you will actually be reimbursed. I know with the Legion, if there are any like board meetings that I go to, any conferences, I am reimbursed the cost of, say, conferences, tolls, gas, my room for the night. I'm not sure if for this how long the trainings go, but you might receive lunch as well, meals and stuff like that. So what are the responsibilities of foster care review board members? One day each month to review a representative sample of cases of children who have been removed from their homes and placed in foster care due to abuse or neglect. At these reviews, board members will interview parents, foster parents, caseworkers, attorneys, and other interested parties who may be involved in planning for the child. Advisory recommendations are formulated and mailed to the court, child welfare agency, prosecuting attorney, parents, and other interested parties. And finally, the purpose of the review is to ensure that all agencies, including the court, have established a plan for the child and progress is being made towards achieving permanency for that child. So if you have any experience with the foster care review board, like I said in my last podcast, please reach out to me. I'd love to pick your brain and get more information. The site was a little lacking on current information for this current topic, especially in the volunteer section. There's a positions description that goes over everything that you may also look through as well. So as always, thank you so much for listening to my podcast. Please like, subscribe, and share. If you have any experience, please email fosterdaddirective@gmail.com with any feedback, ideas, or stories. I'd love to get you on and actually talk to you and have a conversation and find out what experience you have with the foster care system. So thank you so much for listening. Have a good day. Bye.